The clock is very much ticking on our time here in Germany. On today's episode, we should win the Bundesliga in the best way we possibly could with an away game against the team that has dominated German football for the past 15 years, Borussia Dortmund. But before that, we need to confirm our spot in the Champions League semi-finals. Hello and welcome to part 11 of the German leg of the Expedition of Gold. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we are away against Fenerbahce in the second leg of the Champions League quarter-finals, and then we're at home against Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga. I said it was away before, didn't I? That would have been more fun. But beating them at home and being presented with the trophy there and then will be almost as satisfying as winning it at their place. But we're not going to worry about that just yet, because first we've got Champions League business to attend to. Since you've been last with me, obviously it's just a sea of green. Not just a sea of green, but we've not conceded a goal for the last 12 goals we've scored. Malyshev got 4 goals in that game. Was that one that you watched? Did you see Malyshev score 4 goals? It's been so long since I've recorded. It's like 4 days of real world for me since I recorded this series. I don't really remember what's going on, but I do know we're 3-0 up from the first leg in the Champions League quarter-finals. So our first order of business is securing our spot in the semi-final, and this is the team that we're going to put out there to try and do exactly that. We've got Clementino in goal, a back four of Lafarge, Montes, Orlandi and Chesney, Balbiano, Magath and Anicic around midfield, with Di Maria in behind Berger and Clemente. So let's submit the team. Let's head out to Turkey, I want to say. I think it is Turkey, isn't it? I'm pretending I don't know, but Toynissen, we're just resting him. That seems like a pretty decent midfield 3 as far as I'm concerned, so we don't need to risk Toynissen when he can have a little bit of a rest. He's still a young lad. We've switched to counter-attacking and highly structured because we have had accidents in European football in the past when we've gone into these second legs expecting to win. Not so much on this save actually, but certainly earlier in my YouTube life I've been burnt, and I don't want to get burnt again. So we'll happily go here and lose 2-0 defending. But of course it'd be nice if we could tuck this away now, and we do. And it's Igor Anicic, the man Kev discovered, and he's going to be the man who hopefully fires us into the Champions League semi-final. What an awesome end to the Igor Anicic story it'll be. I can't imagine we link up with him again. Obviously, this is the third club that we've managed him at, and I only signed him for one of them. Admittedly, I think I signed him 3 times for Ipswich, signing him on loan twice and then permanently for too much money. So I guess I've signed him 3 times. He's been with us at 3 clubs. Di Maria's picked up an injury. I need to have a look. How serious is this? What is it? It's a thigh injury. I don't know what's more important, really. We're kind of cruising in the Bundesliga, but he is so important in the Bundesliga. He's going to be important. I think, regardless, we're 4-0 up and we've got an away goal. I think he comes off at half-time. We bring on Gruber. Not for Balbiano. No. Gruber comes on for Di Maria. According to my assistant manager's report, Gruber's actually as good as Di Maria, which is terrifying because Gruber's only 20 and came through our youth team and has the potential to still get better, which Di Maria doesn't. So if we thought Di Maria was good this year, imagine how good Maximilian Gruber is going to be in the coming years. He could be the player that just, along with the likes of Malyshev and Clemente and some of these Toynissen, some of these other youngsters we brought in during our short spell with the club, Balbiano. But Gruber could really be the man. He is as good as the last world-class attacking midfielder who came through the Bayern Munich production line, a young man by the name of Oscar, who you might remember from our time at Tottenham. Let's just make another substitution. I think it might actually be time for Clemente. Oh, Clemente's already on, of course. Malyshev. Don't even remember which blooming strikers I've got on the pitch. That's how much in cruise control we're in. I don't think we can mess up the Bundesliga from here, and that was the priority when we arrived in Germany. So our job after today's episode, assuming we do wrap things up, which is quite a big assumption to make, but we're so far ahead, it would be the most amazing bottle job in the history of Football Manager if we didn't win it. So I guess our priority becomes let's try and win a third Champions League. We won it twice with Tottenham. We did win it twice with Tottenham, didn't we? I really should. It's so long since I've even turned this game on. I need to remember how everything works. We're going to bring on Veliz. He hardly ever gets anywhere near the pitch, but we'll bring him on as a target man. What was I saying? Yeah, a third Champions League would be nice because we'll only ever have the opportunity to win it with one other club because I'm in the process of removing Italy and France from the database because I don't think they're countries I particularly want to manage in. We've done France already on this save. We did Italy last year with Milan. I've left Spain on because I've not managed there on YouTube yet. And I've added Mexico and Australia to the list of countries that are going to turn on this summer because so many of you asked for Mexico and Australia. So the next leg of the journey after Germany is probably going to be outside Europe unless a big Spanish club come in for me. But we'll have to see. But for now, we go into the Bundesliga game against Dortmund and we hopefully secure the Bundesliga title. So before the Dortmund game, we actually get the excitement of a Champions League semi-final draw. So it is us, Rayo Vallecano, Chelsea and Benfica still in the tournament. Someone asked about Vallecano, don't really know how you say it, and how and when they got good. It looks like they got promoted into the top division in Spain in 2018-19 and have just had gradual progression and improvement. They've been a solid top 4 team for the last 17 seasons. Won the league 7 years ago, won it again 3 or 4 years ago. It says their finances are okay. I don't know if they had a massive influx of money. I don't think it tells us that anywhere on here anymore. It always used to, I think. But I don't know. Let's have a look at their transfers. That would be a bit of a clue as to whether or not they had a massive influx of money back here. So I think that was the year they got promoted into La Liga. And, I mean, they're not spending massive money, are they? My face is covering a lot of this, but it's not been above sort of 15 million quid yet, total spending. In fact, there you go, we get to 20 million there. That's the season they won the league, I think, but that's not ridiculous spending. They were a Champions League club by this point. They'd won the league by this point. I tell you what, I think they've just been well managed for the last however many years. Who is the manager and how long has he been there? Isaac Castellan. He's 46, so he can't be fully... No, he's only been there for the last 3 seasons. If we have a look at the manager history of the club... Managers. So for a lot of it, it was Ismael Martinez. He was there for 19 years. Took him up into La Liga and then took him to the title and into the Champions League. So he retired whenever he retired, 3 seasons ago. And I mean, that'll do. I guess he's their assistant manager in real life at the moment. Took over as caretaker manager, then interim manager, became manager, and has had, I think we'll agree, a pretty decent career. Took him into the Spanish top division. Lifted La Liga twice. Didn't ever really do anything in Europe, but obviously now into the semi-finals of the Champions League. Presumably, this is their best ever Champions League performance. There you go then. I mean, people have said it's been a very odd save, this one, and you don't see a lot of this. We had Stoke do this in the Premier League. We've got Rayo Vallecano do it in Spain. I like the fact that we've managed to have a little bit of a weird save that has lots of weird stuff going on in it. I think that's pretty cool. So that's the story of them. Did we do the draw? All that waffle. I don't think we did the draw, did we? I was about to move on to the next section. Let's do the draw. So it's Benfica against us. Okay, that's fine. And then Chelsea against Rayo Vallecano. I can handle that. This should be fine. So our final game of the season. Well, it's not our final game. What am I saying? It's not our final game of the season at all. We've got like 6 games left. But we need 2 points from those remaining 6 games to win the league. If we beat Dortmund today, we win the league right now. To show the significance of that, we haven't won the league since 2024. During that time, there's only been one season Dortmund didn't win the league. So it's massively significant that we've got this opportunity, and it's massively significant that we're getting the opportunity against Dortmund. We've got a great team full of really promising young players, and this could be a proper passing of the torch moment that leads to another spell of Bayern dominance even after I move on. That's what I'm hoping, because usually my teams disappear after I leave them. Case in point, Tottenham, 5th in the Premier League. They were completely invincible and dominant when we were there, and they've just sort of drifted away. I'd like to think if we can secure this right now, today, can finish it off with a good Champions League performance, this can be us establishing Bayern Munich as the German football team again in what's ended up being about 15 or 16 months' work. So this is the team that we're doing it with. There's not been a massive amount of changes. Magath, I think, was he in the midfield before? Or no, Toyniston is the one we just brought back in, wasn't he? Gruber comes in for Di Maria because Di Maria got a little bit of a knock in the last game. It's not a serious injury. He's already fully fit and training again, just conditioning is a little bit low. We're also bringing Malyshev back in to play alongside Clemente at the expense of Berger. So Berger might finally be seeing the end of his career as a regular starter. He's 33 now. I didn't expect him to play as many games as he had this year. He has been great. It's right up there with, in fact, it is his best season since he's been at Bayern. But I think these two are now at the point where they're probably good enough. And for next season, I'm leaving a little parting gift for whoever does come in and take over, because I've set up, this guy is coming in for 14 million quid. Vitor Francisco, 21-year-old Brazilian international. He got 1 goal and 1 appearance for Brazil. Just raiding South America again. I'll probably end up at this club now, whoever core are. Is that Corinthians? But yeah, I've just handed them a bunch of cash to bring him in. So that will push Berger even further down the list. Vukotic as well is leaving permanently to go to Wolfsburg. He's played his 10 games. They've secured him permanently, and he celebrated by breaking his foot and is now going to miss the start of next season. So I feel like I won that one. Let's get into this. I've waffled enough between these two matches. You've had like 6 minutes of Kev waffle. Now let's go and try and win ourselves a Bundesliga. We've managed, yeah, let's... Yes. Just do it. Go win the football match. We know we can win the football match. It's been a long time since we lost a football match. But Dortmund are in incredible form. They're charging up the league table. If you remember, around about the turn of the year, when we had that mid-season break, they were still languishing down in mid-table, and they've forced themselves back into... I mean, they're definitely going to be in the Champions League. There's an 8-point gap behind them now. And in all likelihood, they're probably going to finish second. After such a terrible start, if we hadn't have been so dominant, they might well have come back and won the league yet again. So I think we capitalised on a terrible start, and it's kind of all come together at the right time for us, because in another season we might not have got this head start that they gave us this year. But Malyshev is in and makes it 1-0, and as things stand, we will be Bundesliga champions in about 5 minutes' time. So fingers crossed that's how things do turn out. It's our youngsters up front. I mean, there's an average age of about 20 in the 3 attacking players who combined for that goal. What a bright future we're leaving Bayern Munich with. It was Clemente to Gruber and then on to Malyshev to tuck it home. And just don't mess it up now, lads. We're 20 points clear at the top of the table with, 6 games to go for everyone else, 5 and a bit games for us. Just don't foul it up from here. We're doing good. Let's make sure we continue to do good. That's the important message here. I mean, this is why I don't do my own team talks, because that's about as good as they would be. Saying good a lot. Toyniston's picked up a knock. We rested him against Fenerbahce. Is that who we just played about an hour ago? But he's picked up a knock. Now Malashev's in again, and that's a good save from the Dortmund keeper. That was probably an easier chance for Malyshev to score than the one he actually did tuck away, but it's not a disaster for as long as we're still winning. What we don't want is to not win this game today and go into it knowing that our next match is one where we could win the league, because I kind of don't want to have to show you any more league games after this one. I've got in my mind that we just do the 2 legs of the Champions League semi-final as the next episode. In that time, we also play the German Cup semi-final. And it would be an absolute dream finish to our time in Germany to have the last episode of the season being the 2 cup finals. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. But it all kind of all falls apart if we don't win the league right now, because we then have to show you the next league game and probably the semi-final of the German Cup, and it just adds an extra episode in. And I'm keen to get onto the Euros now. I'm getting excited. We've just had the groups drawn for the Euros. If you don't remember, I'm England manager as well. We've not shown you any England games because we're hosting the Euros and I didn't want to show you a load of friendlies. But we have just been drawn in the same group as Scotland, Austria and Denmark, I think it is. So that's what we've got coming up later this week. And then it'll be the job hunt to see what country we end up in next. Make sure you use the comments to let me know what country you'd like to see me end up in. Your choices are Spain is the only European option left. And then we've got Argentina and Brazil, USA and Mexico, China, South Africa and Australia. So I think they're all of the options that we've got. I'm going to take Toynison off. I know it's a little bit early for a Kev substitution, but I'm sure it won't throw us off too badly. I don't want him to be injured for the Champions League semi-final, really. So is Balbiano coming on with an injury? Oh, no, that would have been insane. We will now take off Clemente and get Berger on. I know by the way, if we do mess this up now, I know that at this point I should be going to counter-attacking, but I'm not going to, because I just have this, it's a mental block that I have in my mind where I want to be seen to be winning the league the Kev way. We'll bring Di Maria on for the last 10 minutes just because I feel like he should be on the pitch. He's been such a massive part of what we've done this year. He deserves to be on the pitch when the final whistle goes and we all go mental. Again, sentimental Kev, potentially messing things up and allowing that to happen. And now we're in a silly situation where, thanks to my own romanticised nonsense view of the world, we could, not win the league today. We'll still win it, obviously, because we're so far ahead, but it might not be right now because I didn't defend when I had to, and I brought on an injured player just for romantic reasons. Of course, it could be even more perfect and romantic if Di Maria goes and grabs a winner in the 91st minute. But as we're not getting any highlights, it's looking less likely that's going to happen. It's actually Dortmund who are attacking, and we've lost our first game since the first day of the season. I feel a bit stupid now. Imagine if we didn't win the league now. After all that, I mean, I've just given you a 15-minute speech about how great we are and where we're going next. And all my old bad habits have just crept back in. Di Maria, the chance for romance, but no. Oh, that rhymed. Oh, this is silly. Why have I gone and let this happen? We were in the lead. We could have just shut the game down. We're good enough to. We haven't conceded a goal for months. And now we're going to get Magath sent off as well. And all in all, what should have been a promotion party, a championship winning party, has just descended into absolute nonsense. There's 106,000 people in the stadium thinking, surely not. We've had 15 years of this nonsense. Surely not. We'll never know. Well, we'll know. We'll know tomorrow, because now I guess we have to do... It'll be the German Cup semi-final and the Hanover game, and hopefully that'll be us booking our spot in the Cup final, then winning the league, then we'll have the Champions League semi-finals, and then the dream ending of the 2 Cup finals. It's still possible, but, I mean, we've not lost a game since then. Oh, showing off, and it bit me on the backside. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching. A shrimp and banana? Oh, it's 2 shrimps. Is that okay? Hold on. Hold the phone. Backdoor Bayern at it again. We've won the league. I need the microphone back. What on earth happened? Leipzig lost to Stuttgart. We've won the league. Chapman is the cream of it. This is why you should always watch the end of the episode. I know there's people. I look at the analytics. I know there's loads of people. As soon as they hear me say, if you enjoyed that, they just stop on if. Well, they don't know that we just won the league. They also don't know that I'm the greatest English manager of all time. Let's have the proof. Nationality, oh, look at that. Oh, that's delicious. Oh, Unky Herb, back off. There we go. That is an absolute delight. Where does that leave us on the other Hall of Fames? So, nation, obviously Germany, we're not going to get anywhere near because that'll be the one trophy we win in Germany. But continental, we are up to 16th. We're on the tail of Arsene Wenger and a few others. So a Champions League win this year is going to probably push us up into the top 10. And then worldwide, up to 18th. But there you go. We've won the Bundesliga. Job done in Germany. By rights, should probably just resign now, but I kind of want to win the Champions League again. So we go back to the original plan. We do the Champions League semi-final tomorrow. We do hopefully 2 cup finals to end the season, or the whole thing could just end tomorrow. If we get knocked out of the Champions League tomorrow, we resign on the spot. We don't even bother with the last few league games of the season. But job done. We won the league. Thank you for watching and for sticking around for me to do my... Where's my... Get back to my shrimps. I don't think there's an even number of shrimps and bananas in here, but they are delicious.